What's up, you guys? Today we are doing a brand new series that is going to be fantasy football based. I know I've said I'm going to do a new series, like every video I've posted so far since off season, but now that the season's coming up, I am in two fantasy leagues. I'm only going to be talking about one, although if you show up to the live streams, I will be talking about the other one, just not on like a series type thing. So yeah, this one I'm gonna name this one. This one's my ESPN league, and the people in the league are all friends or associates of mine, and so I'm going to kind of just go through each team and show you what they are. But first, before I get started with that, I kind of want to explain how this season's going to go for me, what the videos are going to be looking like. So basically, if there's a Chiefs game that is in any primetime slot, I will stream it. Or a 1 p.m. slot game, I will stream it. If the Chiefs, for example, play at 4 p.m., I will not be able to stream it. I have other things to go to that I will not be able to do at 4 p.m. every Sunday. So, but let's say if the Chiefs aren't playing at a 1 p.m. slot game, I will probably more than likely stream like a Cowboys game or a Steelers game or a Panthers game, because I have a lot of friends who are those three teams from where I'm around town that I live in, so I can just pull some of those guys up, and yeah, we can do a stream of that game. But yeah, so that's basically how this, and then probably what I'm going to end up doing is once a week, probably on a Saturday, do kind of like a recap of the Thursday night game that happened and a preview of any college games that are going on that week, or a recap of any college games that are going on that week, or just a regular old, or I will preview some of the NFL games that are going on that week, and then that next, probably Saturday, or maybe Friday, depending on with my schedule, I will post kind of a recap. No matter, after Chiefs games, I'll post recaps, stuff like that. After North Carolina basketball games, I'll post recaps. After North Carolina football games, I'll post recaps, similar to what y'all saw towards the end of last basketball season. This is, however, going to be my first ever full season as a YouTube creator, so I'm very excited for that, and I look forward to seeing what I can do. But yeah, anyways, let's get to the actual video on hand, which is NFL Fantasy ESPN. So let's go through my team. My team, I ended up having to auto draft this because they had the draft at like a late night, and I had to be up early that morning. But yeah, so let's start with my quarterback, Geno Smith. I'm okay with that. Madison, he's pretty solid. Haven't really seen him that much, but apparently he's pretty solid. Brian Robinson Jr., again, not sure how I feel about that. The one guy that I did draft in this league, Tyreek Hill at wide receiver 1, Mike Evans at wide receiver 2, and I traded Olave for him because I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Olave. I'm not a fan of his quarterback either, so I just decided to get Mike Evans, which I guess I'm not really a fan of his quarterback either, but Mike Evans is one of those guys where it don't matter where you are, just throw in the same zip code as him. And then TJ Hawkinson, again, would have got Kelsey, but he went off the board at like 4 or something. I had 3, but I decided not to go him. I decided to go Tyreek Hill instead. Yeah, kind of a brain dead moment by me. I should have gone Kelsey, but I went Hawkinson, and then not sure how I got Traylon Burks. I think I drafted him, but I moved Traylon Burks to my flex. And then Steelers defense, and then the Panthers kicker, Pinheiro, I believe is his name. My bench is Alvin Kamara, who's suspended, Juju Smith-Schuster, Gibson, Elijah Moore. I believe that's Elijah Moore at least. Johnson, running back for Chicago. Sam Howell, quarterback for Washington. I might end up starting him depending on how he plays week 1. And then Ezekiel Elliott, who I may end up also starting at flex. Anyways, let's go to the next man on the list. A buddy of mine named Tymir. He has a very solid team. However, he has Burrow, who's questionable week 1, and Jonathan Taylor, who is questionable as well. He's out actually week 1, I believe is what it says. He's out for a somewhat amount of time. That's pretty tough. But yeah, and then he has Damian Pierce, or I believe that's his name, the running back for the Texans. Very good running back who, yeah, I really like him. He was able to get Jefferson number 1 overall. Very smart. Number 2 overall, sorry. Then Devontae Smith, Cole Kmet, and then Pittsburgh wide receiver Johnson. I'm not sure how I feel about Johnson, but I mean that's a very solid lineup. And then he has Bills defense, and then Evan McPherson. His bench is Marquise Hollywood Brown for the Cardinals, Alan Lazard, Raheem Mostert, Gainwell for the Eagles, Patriots defense, Packers defense, and Williams from Los Angeles, K. Williams. Not sure what his name is. And then going down to a buddy of mine, his name is Nate. He has Dak Prescott, Ramondre Stevenson, Harris, Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb, George Kittle, Miles Sanders, Browns defense, and Greg Zuerlein. His bench is Cam Akers, Michael Thomas, A.J. Dillon, Wilson Jr. for the Miami Dolphins, McKinnon, Valdez, and Mingo. So yeah, very very solid lineup from Nate. I think that very solid lineup. And then Carson, he has Jalen Hurts, Austin Eckler, Joe Mixon, Jalen Waddle, Chris Godwin, Dallas Goedert, White, Tampa Bay running back. I'm blanking on his first name. And then Ravens defense / special teams. And then Matt Gay is a kicker. His kicker. Defense is backup is Drake London, Javonte Williams, Jordan Addison, Matthew Stafford, Tyler Boyd, J.K. Dobbins, and Zay Jones. He has a very, very solid bench. Very solid, underrated bench for sure. I think having J.K. Dobbins as a backup running back is pretty awesome. You also have Javonte Williams, who could explode. You have no idea how good he can be. The thing is, though, he's going to be splitting reps. I like Javonte Williams. I had him last year right before he got hurt. He put up 30 points a game before he ended up getting injured. And, yeah, I mean, he was just stupid. And then after... I forgot to... Let's go back here. Winston, he has Tua Tagovailoa, Bijan Robinson, Tony Pollard. That's a really good running back room. Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, Dawson Knox, and Terry McLaurin. I really like his flex and his tight end, but that wide receiver room's looking kind of weak. Eagles defense and Koo from the Atlanta Falcons. Very solid team, just that wide receiver room might need a little bit more bolstering for it to be good. He has Justin Herbert as his backup, which I think is wild. He has Tua over Herbert. But anyways, Pat Freiermuth, Quentin Johnston, Charbonnet from Seattle, Rashad Bateman from, I believe that is Baltimore, Dolphins defense, and Connor from Arizona. And then after him, you go to my buddy Asher, who, in my opinion, has the best team in the league, and it's not exactly close. He has Josh Allen, top 2 quarterback in fantasy, in my opinion, although that's kind of debatable. Then you have Christian McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, best running back room in the league by far. DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp. I'm not sure how I feel about Kupp, but he's projected to be really good this year. Kyle Pitts, who I actually ended up trading Kyle Pitts for. I think it was Hawkinson. I believe I traded Kyle Pitts for Hawkinson, but I think there was another trade that ended up evening that out. I don't remember exactly what happened. I remember Olave was in that deal, and I ended up getting it was Mike Evans and my tight end, Hawkinson, for Pitts and somebody else. And I believe I also traded Josh Jacobs to him as well because I needed to get rid of my tight end or something like that. I know that was involved. And then Christian Kirk, who, again, very solid. Like him at the flex spot. 49ers defense, special teams, and then Graham Gano, great kicker for the Giants. Bench is Zay Flowers, Daniel Jones, and Njoku. I also ended up trading Daniel Jones because I ended up drafting Daniel Jones and trading him for Geno Smith, but he ended up just having him as a backup. Daring Njoku, DJ Chark, Samaje Perine, Khalil Herbert, and Commanders defense. Next up is Peyton, buddy of mine as well. he has Trevor Lawrence, very solid. Nick Chubb, very solid. DeAndre Swift, not sure how I feel about that. Then he has A.J. Brown, Calvin Ridley, Darren Waller, Mike Williams from Los Angeles, and Cowboys defense, and his kicker is from Seattle. Michael Pittman Jr., Jared Goff, Tyler Higbee, Dalton Kincaid, Hunter Renfrow, Curtis Samuel, and Kirk Cousins are his bench. That's a very strange scenario going with two tight ends on your bench. So I guess you could put one of them at your flex if you really wanted to, but that's up to him. I don't know. And then after that is Evan. He has Deshaun Watson, not a great quarterback there. Saquon Barkley, great. Hall from the Jets, very solid, slightly underrated in my opinion. Or on the game, he's slightly underrated. In real life, I think he's slightly overrated. And then St. Brown, who's very solid. Cooper Kupp. Amari Cooper, who, again, very solid. I feel like he's slightly underrated. Evan Ingram, who had a great season last year. We'll see how he does. And then Ayuk. I tend to stay away from, I tend to stay away from backups on the, like, if you're not a first string in that position as a 49er, I don't tend to take you because you're not going to get the ball as much. But then again, you've got plenty of guys, so I don't know how I feel about that. Then you've got the Buccaneers defense and Jake Elliott. Jackson Smith and Jigba and Jahan Dotson, Odell Beckham Jr., Anthony Richardson, Kadarius Toney, the tight end for the Denver Broncos, not even going to try to pronounce his name, and Harris from the Buffalo Bills. That is his bench. And then Braden, he has Lamar Jackson, Kenneth Walker, Isaiah Pacheco, very underrated running back room there in my opinion. T. Higgins, Deebo Samuel, Travis Kelce, George Pickens, Chiefs defense, and Harrison Butker. The Chiefs bye week is going to destroy him. I don't think he's going to get that much going. The Chiefs bye week, he's going to struggle that week. He's pretty much throwing that week away. But yeah, he plays. But yeah, I mean, you have Isaiah Pacheco and Travis Kelce. I mean, having Travis Kelce is a very smart move. I tried to get him, but I didn't. And yes, that's very smart. Then you've got Preston. He has Patrick Mahomes, Etienne, Devin Singletary. Singletary, I believe, is an underrated back, but still a solid back. His quarterback's the best in the league. Running back's very solid. And then he has Jamar Chase, Myers, and Dalton Schultz. Very solid team all around there. And then, Brandon Cooks at his flex, which again very solid. Seattle defense and Justin Tucker at kicker, best quarterback. Arguably best wide receiver. Yeah, he's doing pretty solid for himself. Nick Collins, Sky Moore, Rondale Moore, Darnell Mooney, and Derek Carr bring up his bench. He has a lot of bench spots open if he ever needs one. And then last but not least, the commissioner, his name is Matthew. I know most of these guys. I don't really know Matthew that well. But yeah, he has Fields, Henry, Jones, very solid there. Diggs, Moore, and Andrews, very, very solid. Not sure how I feel about Moore, and if Andrews can stay healthy, that's a great team. He has Tyler Lockett, who, again, Lockett's not that type of player who's going to be a big play guy. He's the type of guy who I'm not going to get hit. I'm going to lay down him, I'm going to catch the ball. So you're going to get a lot of big chunk yards from him, but you're not going to get a bunch of, reception yards from him. Anyways, Daniel Carlson as his kicker, Bengals defense, and then his bench is Sutton, Williams, Wilson, Gallup, Everett, Mitchell, and Gibbs. Comment down below how you feel about each team. And, very excited for this upcoming season. As we have lots of stuff planned, lots of fun streams, lots of fun stuff planned. Make sure you stick around in the streams. And, I'll see you guys on the next one.